the world. Chinese President Xi Jinping will make an official visit to Moscow from the 7th to the 10th of May after the invitation of Russian President Vladimir Putin. The visit comes as Russia marks the 80th anniversary of the Soviet Union's victory in World War II, which Xi is set to participate in the Victory Day celebrations on the 9th of May. During his visit, Xi will engage in high-level talks with Putin, focusing on the further development of their comprehensive partnership and strategic interaction. The two leaders are expected to discuss key international and regional issues, as well as sign several bilateral agreements. This marks Xi's third visit to Russia since the Russian invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, underscoring the strengthening relationship between Moscow and Beijing. Despite China's stated neutral position on the conflict, it has aligned itself with Russia in many aspects, particularly in countering Western influence and sanctions. China's support has been crucial for Russia, especially in terms of trade and military supplies, as Russia increasingly turns to China to bypass Western sanctions. This visit also highlights the personal ties between Xi and Putin, which have significantly bolstered the strategic partnership between their nations. Dr. Satoru Nagao, Fellow Hudson Institute, is joining us live from Tokyo, Japan. Dr. Nagao, what is to be expected on this visit by Xi Jinping to Russia?
For Xi Jinping, there are two benefits he can expect, and two concern also. So firstly, of course, Russia rely on China. That's why if Xi Jinping visits Russia, Xi Jinping can continue such kind of situation as a friendship gesture. So that's why this visit is beneficial. Secondly, if Xi Jinping cooperates with Russia and Russia continues war in Ukraine, in this case, America need to deal with Russian threat in Ukraine, so that's why they use resources in Ukraine. So that's why the same resources the United States cannot use against China. So that's why maintaining the current situation is interest for Xi Jinping. In this case, Xi Jinping need to show the attitude to support Russia. These are two chances, but two concern is different. Two concern is if China shows strong support to Russia, there's a possibility China will be the target of the U.S. sanctions. So that's why China want to show the friendly attitude toward Russia. At the same time, China need to take distance to join the war in Ukraine. So that's why a little careful manner is needed. So China supports Russia, but China is not main actor in Ukraine. And second concern for China is recently to seek the ceasefire America contact with Russia. So Xi Jinping need to show the strong presence in Russia because if the America-Russia cooperation progress and Russia start to negotiate with United States directly and cooperate with United States directly, in this case, China cannot control the situation themselves, so that's why this is a concern. So China need to show the strong presence in Moscow and show the Russian people they are good friends and you do not need to cooperate with the United States. But such kind of attitude is needed. So that's why the two benefit and two concern. This is China's interest, I think.
Right, Dr. Nagao, also, of course, as far as the bilateral is concerned, what do you believe are going to be those key items on the agenda? Which aspects of the China-Russian relationship are expected to be strengthened in those talks?
Firstly, assure the China support to Russia is the purpose, I think. Because currently Russia is negotiating with the United States about a ceasefire. This means that there is a possibility Putin is thinking what kind of choice is beneficial for him. If the ceasefire has happened and it is beneficial for Russia, then of course Putin will seek the ceasefire. Of course, Russia is advancing in the battlefield. That's why the big benefit is needed if he accepts the ceasefire. But at the same time, the United States try to persuade Russia under current situation. That's why China need to assure Russia that you can continue the war in Ukraine. In this case, even if the U.S. suggestion is relatively good, view from Putin, keeping the war and getting more in the battlefield, so maintaining war itself is interest for Russia more. So that's why China's assurance to Russia is one of the purpose of the negotiations. So what kind of the support China can do for Russia, that is the matter, I think.
Right. Also, Dr. Nagao, of course, as far as this visit is concerned, it marks, of course, the 80th anniversary of World War II celebrations, Victory Day celebrations. There's going to be a parade as well. What is Russia trying to show through making a big celebration of this day?
Of course, Russia want to show they are the country who win the war, and they will win the war in the Ukraine, and such kind of image they want to create. And Russia is not isolated because of the Chinese leaders' presence, North Korea's leaders' presence, or other countries, Serbia or Slovakia. In this case, their leader is joined this celebration, and this kind of diplomatic presence will make Russia more bold in this war, because Russian people are concerning they are isolated, but
Yes.
Putin need to show
How will the
this is not
U.S.
true.
be viewing this visit by the Chinese premier to Russia?
Of course, this is not comfortable, because when the Russia and the United States relation was good, that parade was a parade American troops were marching. So that's why now there is no American presence. So that's why this parade indicates that Russia is not a friend of the United States, and Russia is threat against the United States. So parade including the China, the North Korea, this looks like excess of evil for the United States. So that is not comfortable for the United States. But at the same time, if the Russia, China, North Korea show their cooperation against the United States, and if they overemphasize this alliance, of course, view from the United States, now is the time to fight. Okay, your attitude is like that. Something such kind of mood will rise. So that's why, indeed, such kind of provocation itself is not good for Russia or China or North Korea too, I think.
All right, Dr. Satoru Nagao, thank you very much for joining us with your perspective on that story. On that note, we are slipping into a short